To the food more bass than Boots Collins. You versus me, that's like Ali versus Foreman. God's act.
Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Tyler, and in today's video I have something a little bit different in the background for gameplay. And so I'm sure most of you are very aware of what game I'm playing here in the background, but if you guys aren't, I'm playing H1Z1 King of the Kill. I've basically just been no-lifing the shit out of this game the past week and a half or so. But if you guys wanted to see some more H1 gameplay in the background of my videos, let me know down below in the comments section. I'm always down to record and play more of this game because I've been playing it so much lately. So if you guys enjoy watching it, there's no reason for me not to upload it to my channel, so just let me know down below in the comments section. But anyways, in today's video, I just wanted to do the Q&A answers. So a few videos back, I told you guys to leave me some questions down below in the comment section of that video, and I would go ahead and make a Q&A video with those questions. So here we are back at it, doing like the 5th Q&A video or 6th Q&A video I think I've done on my channel. And starting off with our first question here, we have Luca. He asks, do I own any Supreme or Bape? And I have quite a bit of Supreme stuff, but not anywhere near enough to make like a whole collection video or anything, but I have quite a few pieces of Supreme. Moving on to the second question, we have Scotty Boy. He asks, for the Q&A, would you ever do any other drugs? And I've talked about this a few times briefly in other videos, and like I'm not really a fan of doing anything else besides just smoking weed. Like I've first-handedly seen the path that you can go down from doing other drugs. Even if you are careful with them, it's just not the smartest idea. But for me personally, I'd rather stay away from pretty much everything except for like weed and occasionally mushrooms or maybe acid, but not really anything like that. But anyways, thanks for the question, bro. Moving on to the next question, we have G-Talk, and he asks, what are your PC specs? Hashtag AskThern. So again, I think I've posted these specs before in other videos, but I've never really talked about them or anything like that. And I'm just going to start off by saying I don't have like the greatest computer or anything like that. It's pretty outdated now from when I originally built it. But as of right now, what I currently have inside my computer is an Intel i5 processor. I forget exactly what version it was, but I bought it around 2.5 years ago. I've got 16 gigabytes of HyperX RAM. And finally for my GPU, I have a Radeon R7 R250 4 gigabyte card, I do believe. I'm not entirely positive on the name if I got that right, or like the exact model if I got that right, but I know for sure it's a 4 gigabyte card. But anyways, thanks for the question, bro. Moving on to the next question, we have Detox, and he asks, do I have any friends who have ever died from an overdose? And no, thankfully I don't have any friends who have ever died from an overdose. I really tend to stay away from people who do harder drugs or things like that you really can overdose on. Like I don't really want to be around that scene. I don't want to be involved with those type of people because it sets yourself up for disappointment and things like that. And I'm just not a big fan of being set up for disappointment, especially when I'm doing it to myself, so I'd rather just stay completely away from that scene, and thankfully I haven't had any of that happen to me or had any friends that have had that happen. But the next question, we have Buzzman4. He asks, what age were you the first time you got caught smoking weed, and what was my punishment? Now if I remember right, the first time that I ever got caught smoking weed, I think I was either 13 or 14 years old. I believe it was my freshman year in high school. And I think if I remember right, for the time being, I had just gotten grounded for like 2 weeks. I couldn't go out or do anything like that. I was pretty much just in my room for like 2 weeks. And I also think I got my phone taken away from me, but that was about it. It wasn't anything like too bad or anything like that. But anyways, thanks for the question, bro. Moving on to the next question, we have Austin Styles, and he says, weed or music? Pick one for life. PS, love the vids, homie. So if I had to really just sit back and choose between weed or music, like that's such a hard decision for me to make because those are two things that I love so much, like that are probably the biggest part of my life. But at the same time, both of those things are just so much better if you combine them together as opposed to having them each separate. But if I really had to pick one over the other for life, I think I'd much rather prefer to have music, and I know that might be a little bit weird for some of you guys to hear, but I just think about the amount of times I listen to music in a day as opposed to the amount of times that I smoke weed in a day, and I just would much rather have music in my life as opposed to weed. But that was actually a pretty good question. But moving on to the final question of the Q&A, we have Zach, and he asks, what's the strangest thing that I've ever smoked out of? And now if I really go ahead and think about it, like throughout all the times that I've ever smoked weed and all the weird and just strange objects I've smoked weed out of, probably one of the strangest and the coolest was my friend's little vaporizer bubbler he had. Pretty much my friend had this vaporizer at the time called the Airizer Solo, and the bowl system for it is just like a glass down stem or like a glass stem that you pack in and then put into the vaporizer battery itself. So he had made some weird little contraption where he had drilled through the lid of a mason jar and put one of the glass pieces that you could use for like packing a bowl in the vaporizer through the hole that he drilled drilled in the lid, but he ended up sealing off the bowl piece with the vaporizer with like some hot glue if I remember right, and then he had drilled another hole in the lid of the mason jar and made like another tube for your mouth so that you could pull and get like a bubbler action through the mason jar. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's Q&A video. If you guys did, please be sure to let me know by leaving a like down below on this video. All your support and feedback is always greatly appreciated. Thanks again for all the questions you guys asked me for today's video. You guys know I love you all. I hope you guys have a great night. I'm out. Peace.
And I always got it private on me dancing. When she counting, think she got it at financing. Like, whoa, work that pole, all that money on the floor. Go on, take off all them clothes, girl, you know.